The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Wicked Weed studio. I'm Tank Spencer, Brian Haynes alongside, and he's Jeremy Greene. There he is.
Hi. Hi, friends.
Jeremy's over there running the buttons today because we are going to do our first live mock draft right here in the Sportsocracy and the Wicked Weed studio. Don't forget to check out our friends at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed Brewing. Drink different. The mock drafts, they're all over the place. You should be preparing right now for all of your drafts in 2021 fantasy football. So we are taking up the mantle of the three sections of the draft. Jeremy will take the early part of the round. Brian will take the middle part of the round, and then I am picking at 12 at the turn. So Jeremy's in 4 spot. He's in 8. I'm in 12. And we're going to talk about the draft strategies throughout the entire mock draft. Thank you for joining along with us. We welcome your comments. If you'd like to influence our picks, please feel free to do so in the comments. Like, share, and follow the Sportsocracy on all of the social medias. And, of course, hit that subscribe button. Share it out with your friends as well. We ready to get into it, fellas?
Yeah, I think you should tell them about the premise of what we're doing here, like where we're doing it, what's going on.
I did. I just explained there was a mock draft.
Well, here, let me go into it a little bit further here for you. So the computer will be picking the other spots other than what we're picking at. Jeremy's picking at 4, I'm picking at 8, and Tank is picking at 12. It's a snake draft, PPR style. So, there'll be other picks made before we pick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one thing that you need to know specifically. Travis Kelce, no matter what.
Yeah.
That's how I live. That's how this is going to go.
Yeah.
I'm picking at 4, and it's Travis Kelce, no matter what.
Right.
Yeah.
And this, of course, playing on the heels of yesterday's where we went through the fantasy football syllabus for 2021. Brian, did you catch up? Did you have your lesson?
Yeah, I had my lesson. I needed it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's be honest.
All right. Are we sufficiently explained?
I believe so.
Okay. All right. Let's get into it then. The 2021 Sportsocracy Mock Draft Live 1.0 brought to you by the Sleeper app, or courtesy of the Sleeper app. That's the one that we are using. I like the Sleeper app. There are fantasy football communities. There's a Q&A section in there where you can get into hotbed discussions with other fantasy football fans. There are mock drafts all over the place. They're doing them live around the clock. You can jump into leagues wherever. And you can find them for every shape and size. Whatever rules you want to go by, we're going by regular PPR rules here. As you can see on the draft board, the first 3 picks were all drafted by the computer. Dalvin Cook goes 1, Christian McCaffrey at 2, and then the Cleveland Browns fan picking at 3 takes Nick Chubb. You might see that happen in an actual mock draft. I'm not so certain that Nick Chubb's going to be picked at number 3 in many.
Yeah, I thought that was a little.
Hinge your hopes on Nick Chubb, who's in he is in a timeshare in Cleveland with Kareem Hunt. I guess it really doesn't affect this person, but I would not be taking him this high in the draft.
Yeah,
he's more of a middle first round guy for me. I would have gone with Derrick Henry at number 3, and I guarantee you he's not going at 4 either. Is he, Jeremy?
No. If you're going to have to unpause it, though, because you're the one that paused it.
Indeed. That would make a lot of sense, would it not?
It's always fun when these things work so swimmingly.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. It is one of those things. All right, well, let's resume. Let's resume the draft.
Bingo.
Travis Kelce with the 4th overall pick.
No matter what, Travis Kelce, no matter what.
Travis Kelce, no matter what.
And
then at number 4 on the list, to me, that's a little high.
Nope, don't care. All right, so theoretically, who would you have rather me taken? Kamara, who scares me because you've got Jameis Winston instead of Drew Brees.
Yep.
He's going to see loaded boxes. They only have Michael Thomas. Derrick Henry, who I've already told you I think is going to have injury issues this year because of the workload. Saquon Barkley, who's hurt all the damn time. I mean, I keep doing this.
Yeah.
At 4, I want safe, and I want to know I have a definitive advantage over everybody else in this league. That is what Travis Kelce gives me.
Yep.
And I think when we're done with this little exercise, you're going to see what my roster looks like and go, oh, damn.
Oh, wait.
Oh, boy.
All right, Brian Haynes is picking in the 8th spot here.
And after Kamara, Henry, and Barkley comes off the board, I think this is pretty much a no-brainer that Jonathan Taylor is the next pick.
I would agree with that.
That would have been the only other player I would have taken at 4. So I fully believe that that's the right call.
So I'm going to go ahead and pick Jonathan Taylor there, and he's going to be my running back on my amazing roster. And 3 wide receivers go off the board immediately.
Right. This is where you're going to see a lot of the top wide receivers come off the board at the end of the first round. Everybody wants to jump in to get the guy who they think is going to end up being number 1 at the wide receiver position. The problem that I have with taking wide receivers here is that I don't think the point differential is as great with wide receivers as it is with running backs.
It's not.
It's not. With running backs, I mean, well, here, I'll just let me pull up my note that I had here yesterday on this very thing. If you look at the 13 to 36 range, so these are guys that you're going to get at the top, at the back end of the first round, going all the way down to the start of the third round. The difference for running backs is a 50-point difference between that first round running back or what should be a first-round running back and what's going to be a third-round running back. It's only a 30-point difference with wide receivers.
Right.
So to me, if I'm picking in this position, as I am going to look hard at running backs.
Right.
Aaron Jones screams to me he needs to go here. He's going to get the workload regardless in Green Bay.
And I would be looking at Aaron Jones or maybe Austin Eckler.
I'm actually going to do both. I'm going Aaron Jones and Austin Eckler at the turn.
Whoa.
This way I've got 2 running backs here, and I'm not afraid.
Okay.
I can't hate any of that. It's probably what I would have done at 12. I might have gone Ezekiel Elliott instead of one of the 2, but I don't know which one.
I mean, I like guys who catch a lot of passes. Trend that Zeke is on for the past couple of years. So Ezekiel Elliott goes immediately after, then DK Metcalf, then DeAndre Hopkins. Brian comes back around for the 5th pick in the 2nd round.
I think I got to go running back again. My problem here is I'm deciding between a Joe Mixon and a Cam Akers. I think this is going to be a good Joe Mixon year in Cincinnati. I think that is what I'm going to go with. Would you guys agree?
Workload on Joe Mixon is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
They've basically let everybody and their brother know that.
But Joe Mixon is made of popsicle sticks.
That's not 100% true.
I still don't trust him. I don't trust him. He's never played a full season, I don't think.
You could convince me of about 5 running backs here.
Yeah.
I could go Mixon, I could go Akers. For you, it's your 2nd running back. So it's just not – I'm not that worried about it.
Right.
Yeah.
I think any of the first 5 of the first 6 that are on there.
I'm pretty happy with Jonathan Taylor and Joe Mixon as my 1-2 punch.
Okay. I would be happy with that as well. I will be a little worried about the injury risk with Joe Mixon, but there again, he did turn in, he has had a couple of 14-game seasons in his career, so hoping for the best here.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes came off the board directly behind you at the 6th pick, A.J. Brown, and then J.K. Dobbins. So that leaves Flostradamus over here to take his boy from Florida State, Cam Akers.
Stutter. Who's shocked that that's what I'm going to do?
No one. Know your opponents. When you're in a league, we talked about this yesterday. When you're in a league, know your opponents. Know what they're going to do.
Oh, you bitch!
Yeah. I knew that's the way that was going to go. After Cam Akers goes DeAndre Swift, which I think is too high for him. Justin Jefferson, then Kittle, then Harris, Ridley, and Antonio Gibson. So now Flostradamus he's got a decision to make. Does he go double tight end? We do have 3 flex positions in this league.
I think he is going to be, look, there's 2 guys that he's mentioned. I think Miles Sanders is going to have a good year, and Josh Jacobs is still on the board. Those are 2 guys that
Fine. Don't worry. Blinkies are fine.
Okay.
We're good. We're still on the air. Maybe with some buffering issues.
I'm not gonna lie. This is a really freaking hard decision for me, because there's part of me that says, you know what, I can get another running back. Because I have reservations about every last one of them.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, we know you hate him.
Yeah, I can't tell you it's going to be. I can tell you it's not going to be.
Miles Sanders, I don't think he's going to see much of a
Are you possibly thinking of going wide receiver here? You've been real. Oh, Michael Thomas.
And he goes with Michael Thomas.
And this just leaves it perfect for me to take Darren Waller, and I couldn't be any happier right now, because now I can set and forget at tight end, and we are looking good for Team Big B Haynes.
Which means now I am in the position where I need I'm not going to get a tight end. I'm not going to get a tight end now, probably before the 8th or 9th round.
Okay.
Unless something really stupid happens. And at that point, I'm going to lean on my good friend, the tight end whisperer, Jeremy Greene, to help me get through the season and pick the right ones. If you don't get in those top 3 tight ends, then it's not worth, it's not worth wasting a pick in the middle rounds for somebody who could be okay.
I agree. I think that once you get past those top 3, the difference between, let's say, if we go for Mark Andrews and someone down in maybe the 12th ranked tight end, I don't think the difference in points is going to be that big of a deal to where you don't worry about it. And, at this point, do you go wide receiver? Do you go ahead and get another running back and then wait for your wide receivers later? I mean...
No, I'm going to go ahead and get a wide receiver. I may go back-to-back wide receivers here, and just let's do that. Okay. I'm going to go with Julio Jones. I'm going to take Julio Jones because I like the prospects of him being with A.J. Brown. I think he's going to get a lot of looks. He's going to be
okay.
And I'm not certain which one of the 2 I want, but I'm going to go with Chris Godwin. Because, look, be a homer. If you want to be a homer, be a homer. Don't go out and draft your entire friggin' team, but you go out and get the guy that you want.
See, this is what we talked. Didn't we have a discussion about don't pick your team, players in your team?
Why would you do that? Why would you say no? Why would you say I'm going into my fantasy football team and I don't want a guy on my own team?
Yeah.
This is one scenario where you actually took arguably the best player.
I did.
It's not what I would have done, just let that be known, but because I just don't care about wide receivers. Michael Thomas to me is top 3 wide receiver in the NFL.
Could be.
And I got him in 3rd round. That's the only reason I have a receiver on my team as we sit currently.
Now we're to me. And, I got both my running backs. I got a tight end. I probably need to go wide receiver here because I am not drafting a quarterback, even though Lamar Jackson is on the board right now. I feel we talked about the differences in quarterbacks at this point. I could go Lamar Jackson just because it's a lot of points. And to be honest, I'm starting to get swayed towards that, even though... Just because the next wide receivers on the board are Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore, Adam Thielen, Robert Woods, Kenny Golladay. You know what? I know. I don't want to just bust you for what I just said. And then I still think we can get... Oh, man, this is a tough decision.
You're swayed by Golladay, aren't you?
I am.
You're swayed by Golladay on your own team in spite of the fact he shouldn't even be a consideration, right?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
Well, I'm also looking at maybe DJ Moore.
I think it's still too high for DJ Moore, but that's just me.
Is this a point where we're looking at where my team is constructed now that Lamar Jackson's got to be the pick?
You have 2 running backs that scare the bejesus out of me.
Yeah.
Well, you got one running back that scares the bejesus out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Scares Tank even more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
And I understand, Kevin.
I can't fault you for either one.
Yeah.
I think
I don't love that even a little bit. I really want to think he gets back to me, but he might not. For me, the decision's pretty simple, and I can say it because neither one of them pick again before I pick. I don't like David Montgomery going this high. I'm going Kareem Hunt. I don't think he would have come back to me top 10 fantasy running back last year. Oh, mommy, daddy, button, just get this dick. Good Lord.
All right, so let's take stock here for a second. I'm going to pause it so we can take stock of what has happened here, because I want to address Kevin Vick in the comments said, if I'm afraid of injuries with Joe Mixon, then I should be afraid of injuries with Julio Jones. It's not that I'm not afraid of the injury with Julio Jones. I get it. He's, a 31-year-old wide receiver, and he hasn't been on the field as much as, as much as one would like. But the talent to me is just so far above and beyond of what I could possibly get. It's a little bit of a lottery pick for me. Would you agree with that reasoning? Of
offense into a run-heavy offense, and you got two wide receivers to keep happy. And that scares me.
Well, they also want to mix it up more in Tennessee because they need to, as you have said, there's an issue with Derrick Henry getting so many carries.
The workload's astronomical.
Right, and so they are going to still pound the ball, but they're going to try to mix it up more than they have in the past because now they have two legitimate all-pro, all-time, well, I don't know if we can go all-time already with A.J. Brown, but what we project could be an all-time wide receiver. They have two of them now. And so this is going to skew it more to the middle, wherever they were run heavy before. In fact, I think they were pretty balanced last year in the run-pass game. It's just that Derrick Henry is so efficient at his running that they lean more toward the run. I think they're going to be able to open the offense a little bit more with Julio Jones. So that's just my addressing of the injury situation here. So after Lamar Jackson, Cooper Kupp goes, Chris Carson, then Robert Woods. And Jeremy, you went with Kareem Hunt?
If something happened to Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt's a top 5 running back in the NFL.
No doubt.
I'm taking high upside. Kareem Hunt was the number 11 running back in fantasy football last year with Nick Chubb. I'm fine with that. I get that in the 4th round. That's my second running back. Abso-freaking-lutely.
Then Travis Etienne.
Dumb.
So high.
Travis Etienne comes
team
off
number
the
3
board.
said James Robinson wrong.
College-like ways, I would say. They're going to try to throw him a lot of passes, but I think that's dumb for Travis Etienne to come off the board before James Robinson, the guy who just had a really good season last year. Cinderella story coming out of nowhere. Kyler Murray goes after that. CeeDee Lamb and Jamar Chase go at the turn. Then David Montgomery comes off the board. DJ Moore. And then Jeremy capitalizes on the James Robinson. The mistake from the team that picked Travis Etienne. Kenny Golladay comes off the board, angering Mr. Brian Haynes here.
Yes.
Russell Wilson, Adam Thielen, and now back to your pick. We shall resume.
And I'm in quite a predicament here.
That's what happens when you take.
They're going to let Russ cook this year. I think Tyler Lockett will get some looks, and I'm going with him as my wide receiver.
Interesting. Mark Andrews and Kyle Pitts go directly in front of me, so that solves one of my issues of should I consider Kyle Pitts here? It's a little too high to take a rookie, but I also believe that he's going to have a wonderful year this year. He is the one guy that breaks the no rookie tight ends rule to me.
Yeah, because he's going to be a wide receiver.
Exactly. He will line up more on the outside than he will in line. I fully believe that, and he was going to be a consideration for me here, but that problem has solved itself. And now I'm staring the abyss in the face. Because this is the area. This is the area where I get into where I'm not really sold on anything. I'm not a believer in Myles Gaskin. Juju's fine, and you might consider him here, but I don't believe that this is going to be a banner year for the passing game with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think it's going to be a banner year for that team, period. I'm going to stick with the running backs, and I'm going to reach, and I'm going to get laughed at for it.
100%. Yeah, I already vaguely think I know what you're getting ready to do.
Do you? I'm going to go with Chase Edmonds.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were going to do.
Did you think I was going to take Javonte Williams?
I thought you were going to take Mike Davis, but...
Mike Davis. No, I'm going to take Chase Edmonds. I've been a Britton's him all that much in Arizona. I think he's going to
I feel like you're letting your personal bias take over.
Sure.
Because Chase Edmonds has had the chance to be the lead back there numerous times. Never happened.
I understand.
I like Chase Edmonds a lot. I like the talent. That is a reach to me.
Not in the 5th round?
That's a reach. I mean, you took him over guys like Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams. You took him over several guys that I like better.
And that I can understand. The injury issues, I want to go with another wide receiver here, but as I have said, pound the running backs early because I don't think there's a whole lot of depth. I think the chances that you're going to find a guy like James Robinson that comes out of nowhere is going to, that's a once in a blue moon kind of a thing. And I am going to go to Denver, and I am going to take a running back, and I am going to take Javonte Williams. So I've started out now my draft with 4 running backs and 2 wide receivers. I think it's important to get the running backs early.
Yeah.
And I think Javonte Williams is going to get a lot of tote in Denver. At best, for Melvin Gordon, I think it's a split.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not saying they were worthy of being taken right here, but they did still have value.
Yes.
And, I've just been screaming. I'm so high on this guy that I want to get another wide receiver here. And I'm so drunk on this guy this year. It's T. Higgins, and I'm going to pick him as my second wide receiver.
I can't hate on that.
I'm so drunk on him.
After I took Javonte Williams, Melvin Gordon, Justin Herbert, Dak Prescott, now T. Higgins has come off the board. Then Hawkinson, Gaskin, and Juju Smith-Schuster coming back to Jeremy Greene for the 9th pick in the 6th round.
And what does he do, folks? What does Flostradamus do?
Well, he's talked very highly about Devontae Smith. We know that he is very interested in Deontay Johnson. I'm just not sure I don't think that those players have reached their value for him yet.
I think Deontay Johnson's going to have a real big year. Oh, he goes Cortland Sutton, which I really like.
There you go.
I think he's coming back to have a spectacular year.
See, I considered doing that at the turn, but the injury scares me.
And people, he's got his Chase Claypool. He's so happy. He could not be any happier. And we're back to me.
Chase Claypool, who, Jeremy, you believe he's the guy.
He's the one.
He's the guy now.
He's the one in Pittsburgh. He's the best receiver on that team, and I don't even think it's debatable. Cortland Sutton's the best wide receiver in Denver. I like Cortland Sutton a lot. And the fact that he had Drew Lock did not keep him from being good before he got hurt.
I'm going to go ahead and get another running back on the backside of this because I only have 2. I'm taking him over Mike Davis because I think in the long run he's going to work out better for me for Michael Carter. Thoughts?
That is aggressive.
Bold strategy?
That is a bold strategy. I don't hate it.
I mean,
I have a pick with the Jets later that I like Carter. That's just too high for me.
I needed another running back in that spot. And my choices are David Johnson, Zach Moss, Mike Davis, or Damian Harris. I like Michael Carter better than all of them.
I can't disagree with you. I just think it's too high. just think it's a little too high.
After Michael Carter, Jalen Waddle comes off, Ronald Jones, and Jerry Jeudy.
A Jeudy chop.
Jeudy chop.
I've got quarterbacks staring me in the face, but I'm not going to do it. You'll get to the point in your draft where you'll be looking at the board and you'll go, do I have to?
You'll blink before I do.
Do I have to take a quarterback here? I'm sure I will. I'm sure I will blink before Jeremy does.
You mark my damn words, you will blink before I do.
But you have to you have to ask yourself, do you think you're going to be able to get value later? I mean, Aaron Rodgers is going to be gone in the next 3 picks. More than likely.
You have 2 in a row.
I do have 2 in a row.
Uh-huh.
But I'm still reticent to do that. I'm going to take one of my boyfriends from college fantasy football. Scored a lot of points with this kid out of Colorado. Laviska Shenault.
Laviska.
There's been a lot of talk, and yesterday Jeremy clued me into something that...
Smart-ass comments about DJ Chark.
Right.
Interesting.
And so if DJ Chark is the guy that's out, I want all the Laviska Shenault. Because with that, that innovative offense that they're going to be running, he can do a lot of things. I think they're going to use him very, very well. And then with my second pick on the back-to-back turn here, starting out the 8th round, I think I'm going to stick with the wide receivers.
And?
No, you know what? I'm not going to stick with the wide receivers.
Okay.
I'm going with another running back. I'm going to take Mike Davis. I get at some point, you get to the point where you're like, you can't play these guys all the time. Okay. Well, I can use them for trade bait.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to get hurt. Hopefully it's not one of my running backs. And then if I have a glut of running backs, then I can cash in on my, maybe I could get the Darren Waller owner interested in one of my running backs.
Yeah,
if I feel later
where
I
you're
need
going from with that.
Right. If later I feel like I need to come back and get a better tight end. I'm sick of playing the waiver wire. I want one of those top 3 tight ends. You need a running back, I'm going to give you one of mine.
There's a guy that I just love. New team. Had a great year last year. Figured out how they can use him. Just going to be a Swiss Army knife. I think he's going to get a lot of work. I'm going Curtis Samuel here.
Indeed.
And we're back to Fulshadamus.
Yeah, Curtis Samuel.
And I think he had Damian Harris, and I knew he was taking him from the minute that happened.
Marquise Brown, and then Tom Brady. Oh, and then Jeremy's going to the running back stable again with Damian Harris. And then there goes the other quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers, Trevor Lawrence, Jarvis Landry, Deebo Samuel come off. So does Trey Sermon. Trey Sermon in the 9th round. You like that value?
That's not bad. I don't mind that in the least.
Okay. Rob Gronkowski goes to Team 3. Bringing Jeremy back around on the clock. What are you thinking, Jeremy?
It's too early to reach. I'm good. I've got 4 running backs that are starters. I'm going to be okay at running back. I feel pretty good about wide receiver. Not ready to take a quarterback yet. I'm basically between A.J. Dillon and Will Fuller. And I know Will Fuller's suspended, high upside. I think there's another guy I can get in the next round. I'm taking Will Fuller.
Okay. Will Fuller comes off. 2 more quarterbacks come off the board, Matt Stafford and Joe Burrow. Tyler Boyd comes off. And now, Brian Haynes, you're on the clock.
I just want to throw this out there. There are now 2 teams that have 2 quarterbacks, and I still don't have one, and I am just hunky-dunky with that.
I mean, I'm looking at, maybe getting another running back here.
Okay, you've already got Jonathan Taylor and Joe Mixon. Michael Carter is going to be your flex play.
Maybe.
Or one of your wide receivers. I think you've got two giant question marks for me anyway in your running back core. One is Michael Carter. We get the reports coming out of camp are good that he's going to get the workload, but he's still a rookie. And then you got Joe Mixon with the injury issues. Jonathan Taylor, I don't think, played a full season either. So what are you going to do?
It's almost like, okay, you got to look at this right now. Devin Singletary is actually the number one in Buffalo, but does he have as much value as, say, like a Tony Pollard or a A.J. Dillon? I know.
He scares the hell out of me.
He always does, but starting running backs are hard to come by.
But how long will that last?
Yeah, I know.
How long will Devin Singletary hold on to the job? Have we heard anything about Zach
I'm looking
Moss?
at this, and I got to just think that this is going to be the best player available for me, and he's going to be the number one wide receiver in Indianapolis. Michael Pittman's got to be the pick here.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah. I think I can come back around and hopefully get one of those backup running backs that we were just talking about. And there's one especially that I really want, and I'm hoping he's still there. And so we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. All right, Michael Pittman goes to Brian, A.J. Dillon, Ryan Tannehill, and Dallas Goedert. Were the next three picks, and now I'm sitting here with a back-to-back. And you got to worry about being too much of a homer. You don't want to have too many of your own players on your team. As I scroll past the Antonio Brown name, I do think he's going to have a fantastic year this year.
I honestly think Antonio Brown's going to have.
I mean, he had 6 touchdown catches in 8 games last year with Tom Brady.
But you already have Chris Godwin.
But I already have Chris Godwin, and the question is, do I think that I can get similar value out of anybody else? And I think so, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one. And I'm probably going to pick the wrong one, but I'm going to go and I'm going to trust Sam Darnold that he can get the ball to Robbie Anderson. I'm going to take Robbie Anderson, solidify my wide receiver room. Now I got Julio Jones, Chris Godwin, Laviska Shenault, Robbie Anderson. And Michael Gallup. I don't know what workload there is going to be for him there. I mean, he's got CeeDee Lamb, he's got Amari Cooper, but I think he had a fine season last year. And I mean, they've got 2 ones on that team and a borderline one with Michael Gallup to me. So now I feel really confident in my wide receivers.
Somebody just took Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
Stop. Team 9 and do less. Yeah. Your team blows. Good God, that team is god. They took 5 receivers in a row. Their 1 and 2 running backs are A.J. Dillon and Todd Gurley. Talk less. Team 9, talk less.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
They're going 0 running back theory. Although they already drafted 2.
Aggressive as hell.
Antonio Brown came off the board right after me. Damn it, I should have done that. Rashad Bateman, then Todd Gurley. Now, Brian, you're going to follow up your pick with. Are you going to take a kicker here?
No.
Are you going to fill out your whole roster?
Absolutely not.
Because that's what it looks like you're doing.
Are you kidding me?
You've got all the positions.
It's a great
filled.
time to take Justin Tucker. Just sitting there staring
beautiful.
at you.
There's two running backs that I'm looking at right now, and it's either going to be Tony Pollard or Alexander Madison.
Alexander Madison.
And I believe I've been talking about Alexander Madison. We've talked about how he has value even with Dalvin Cook.
Ish.
His
real value comes in if something happens to Dalvin Cook.
And that's where
he's not going to have a whole lot of standalone value.
And I think Tony Pollard does have a little bit of value to him.
There's one running back on the top available list here that I do feel like has standalone value, but I want to see if you can figure out.
And I can see that with Nyheim Hines because I have Jonathan Taylor, which would make sense to maybe if there is anything like that. There's along with that line, but I don't see anybody else.
Jonathan Welch said, I don't get Brian's team at all.
You don't get it?
Neither do I.
Oh, okay. Really?
I'm at a level I don't ever like taking a quarterback inside the first 10 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
I have done this 50 times. I don't think I have taken a quarterback inside the first 10 rounds where I liked my team.
Okay.
I did a couple of years ago when I got Aaron Rodgers in the 8th round, and I felt like that was too good to pass up. But very rarely will I ever be the one to jump on that. Oh, I thought you took Deshaun Watson.
Oh, Team 7, you dickwad.
Oh, Jeremy wanted him some Deshaun Watson.
I was so about to do that.
He was going to bite before you did.
Yeah. Because that's been my play through all of the actual drafts and the mock drafts that I've been doing. I'm just waiting till the 10th or 11th round, and Deshaun Watson's going to be there. I'm going to take the gamble on that, and then I'll probably go back-to-back quarterback picks. Take Deshaun Watson, there's the risk, and then I get another guy that if something happens with Deshaun Watson, he gets suspended for a while or whatever, then I'm set at quarterback. But I've got that ticket in my pocket, just waiting to cash it in whenever everything settles out, which I think it will. So after Phillip Lindsay, Deshaun Watson, Irv Smith, Robert Tonyan, Jeremy did what I thought you should do. Go with Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards was the one that I looked at on that list, and when he's got standalone value. Because he still got carries last year with J.K. Dobbins. They just paid him $5 million. I think they are going to continue to run him. They don't want to run into a situation where they're running J.K. Dobbins into the ground. Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields, Tyler Higbee. Corey Davis starts out the 11th round. Logan Thomas, Hunter Henry, and then what does Flostradamus do?
Yes. You know what I'm going to do?
What's that? Mecole Hardman.
I'm going to listen to everything coming out of Kansas City. Kansas City's trying to tell me what they're doing with their number 2 wide receiver. It's Mecole Hardman. I'm okay having Kelsey and Hardman too. I mean, at this point, he's my, 5th receiver? I'll never play more than 3, ever. So if I hit on it, fantastic. I got 2 fast-ass, big-play wide receivers.
Right on. Devontae Parker then comes off the board. Nyheim Hines and Rondale Moore. I'm still unsure about Rondale Moore. I don't know what to make of his role in Arizona with all of those wide receivers.
I love Rondale Moore. He's just a bad dude. And he's going to be a safety blanket because they don't have a tight end. I like Rondale Moore a lot.
Okay. With A.J. Greene in the mix now, Christian Kirk and
Christian Kirk's the
Hopkins.
forgotten man. I'm just going to tell you, he's the forgotten man.
I know. But do you think, is that going to be the way it is on the field? That they will target A.J., they'll target D-Hop, they'll target Rondale, and Christian will get the leftovers?
I think there's going to be a lot of passing yards in that offense.
Yeah.
And I like Rondale Moore as the 3. I mean, he's probably only going to see 25, 30 snaps a game. But he is a matchup nightmare because he is a little guy that plays much bigger than he is.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I considered Rondale Moore when I took Mecole Hardman.
All right, what you thinking here, Bri?
There's a guy, a jury's probably going to hate it, but I'm just going to go with what they're saying out of camp, and I'm going to take Elijah Moore. I think he's going to be...
I don't hate it at all. That's what I was going to do in the next round.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm swearing at you right now because that was on that was what I was going to do in the next one. Well, shit.
Well, shit.
All right, I have managed to make it into the 12th round still without a quarterback.
Yep, so have I.
And there are still 3 guys that I like.
Still 3 quarterbacks that you like?
Yeah.
I see 1, 2, 3, 4. There's at least 4 on here that I would, I wouldn't really love it that they're my starting quarterback, but I'll roll through. I'll roll with it.
I wish I had taken Jalen Hurts in the 10th round as opposed to Gus Edwards and hope he came back to me. That's going to be what I look at that because if I had Jalen Hurts and Gus Edwards instead of Gus Edwards and Mecole Hardman, I would like my team way better than I do right now. I would be drunk on my team right now, as a matter of fact. And I think he would have gotten back to me because not one running back went in between my pick and that pick. I just read the board wrong there. Mm-hmm. I didn't think somebody with Aaron Rodgers would take Jalen freaking Hurts too.
Yeah.
It's just, they're taking the flyer. They're taking the flyer, hoping that they cash gold. And I don't know that I see that way.
We're going to put our 3 teams side by side, and we'll put it on the social medias, and you can vote on which team you like best.
Yes.
Because currently, I like mine. I like mine a lot. I like the top end of Tanks. It kind of went sideways in the 4th round.
Sideways in the 4th?
Yeah. After Chris Godwin, it's. I like every one of those guys. I just wish they were 2 lines lower than they are.
2 lines lower.
And I wish I could go back. I wish I could change like my wide receivers because I wouldn't be starting Michael Carter. I'd be putting Michael Pittman in there. But they won't
no, you can do that when we put the graphic up.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to take
You got a thought process here? Or you're just staring at the screen?
I'm sorry. I zoned out there for a second, as I tend to do sometimes.
Yeah, he does that.
I don't really want to take a tight end here, and so I'm not gonna. I think I'm gonna bleak, and I'm gonna take a quarterback.
I told you would blink before I did.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna take Carson Wentz. Screw it. I think he's going to be fine.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
I don't know that he's going to be MVP level like he was, with Frank Reich in Philadelphia. But I like the weapons. I like the way that offense can work, and I think there's some opportunity there.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Interesting.
I don't mind Carson Wentz.
No.
He was one of the ones that I considered, but now it is 100% guaranteed I will not take. I won't take a quarterback for quite some time.
So you going to have a backup quarterback starting?
There's still 10 starters.
But he may be playing the waiver wire. He may end up having to do that.
It's fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if you can do it successfully, there's.
I have an ace up my sleeve. You just RELAX.
Are we?
I am going to
take forever. Yep,
take forever. I agree. Look,
I wish there was a clock on how long it took each of us to pick because I think it's taken Tank as long per pick for 12 picks as it's taken me to do 12.
Oh yeah, you give me the time on the clock, and I'm going to use all of my time.
By the way, don't be that guy. Mm-hmm. Be a Jeremy. Don't be a Tank. Mm-hmm. Know what you're doing. Stick to your guns and go. I think I've been on the clock for a grand total of 45 seconds total.
I'm going with Mike Williams, another wide receiver, but I think
did you mean to?
I think there's high upside there.
Okay, hey, it's just,
to each his own.
It's fun.
Come back around, and we talked about it a bunch of times. I'm going to get Alexander Madison here, and that's what I'm going to take.
Mm-hmm. Baker Mayfield, Zach Ertz, Kenny Gainwell, Alexander Madison goes to Brian. Then we got Jonnu Smith, Jamal Williams, Fat Jamal, and Evan Ingram coming off the board before Jeremy's pick here in the 12th round at number 9. At this point, he's still not taking a quarterback. Will you have Travis Kelce? Will you draft another tight end after that?
No, I will not. Damn it.
Kevin Vick said Mike Williams sponsored by KOA because he spends a lot of time in the tent.
Bingo. But when he's on the field, he flashes. And with Justin Herbert.
Oh! Did I see that right?
What?
Yeah.
Did I see that right?
Daniel Jones, I mean, he does have rushing yards to account
Danny
for.
Dimes. Hey, listen. I know it's camp time, but they're talking about how Danny Downs looking pretty good at camp right now.
They have to.
I know they do.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure you knew that was a must scenario.
Are we doing this where we have to take a kicker and a defense at the end?
No, you do not.
Because they're not going to let us here.
No, I specifically. Oh, they're not going to?
I don't think so. Well, I think we're seeing that we're not going to be able to, because I think you can't fill out. They only gave you a certain amount of bench spots. So this would actually this is going to be my last position player. Wow. Yeah.
Is that how it works, Jeremy?
What?
Are they going to force you to take a kicker or a tight end?
If they do, I will cut them immediately.
Look at your Kiwi, because you're the one.
My what?
Your Kiwi.
You mean Q?
You mean Q?
Yeah.
Oh boy,
your Kiwi. Hot.
Oh wow.
No, I still have the ability to take other things.
Okay.
And I will.
All right, good deal.
And I will. God, there's a guy that if you don't take, I'm gonna, and I don't want to in the least. I don't want to because I don't need him, but by God, if he comes back to me, I will take him.
I think I know who you're talking about, and there is zero shot of that happening.
You talking about me?
I'm curious if you know who I'm talking about.
I think I do.
What's his first name start with?
N-A.
What's his last name end with?
An N?
That's the one.
There's zero chance.
That's the one.
Uh-huh.
You talking about me?
No, we're talking secret strategies over here.
Oh boy.
I don't want you.
There are two guys that I can't believe you've thought about this as long as you have.
Yeah. Really?
Adam Troutman and J.D. McKissick are both shouldn't still be on a board right now.
Yeah, I already have a tight end.
And what is your point?
I'm setting and forgetting, dude.
I mean, I don't blame you there. You do realize that there are. I'm just looking at teams in this league. There's one team that's starting Logan Thomas and Austin Hooper, which is fine. Mm-hmm. Gronkowski and Hunter Henry, Noah Fant and Irv Smith. Fant, who's injury prone, Irv Smith, who they've already said the role's not going to increase. Mark Andrews, Zach Ertz, and Tank still didn't have one.
And so
by the way, I would be taking Adam Troutman and looking at Tank going, what you going to do now?
And now that we talked about this,
that's exactly what I would do.
I'm going to do this just to piss him off.
Yeah, what you going to do now? Because there's not a living, breathing tight end left.
Thanks, cockbag.
Well, I feel like and the first kicker comes off the board, and it's the butt kicker.
The butt kicker. Yeah, Jeremy, you just had to keep talking.
I did.
That was the guy. That was the guy that I was going to get.
Hey, you take Tim Tebow. He's in the queue.
I'm not.
You have some Tim Tebow.
I don't want Tebow. I don't even want him in my Kiwi. Can I kick him out of the Kiwi? That's the question that I have.
Uh-huh. Alex Center said Jacob Harris is there.
You damn right he is.
Jacob Harris.
I mean, there's a rookie tight end that could be taken.
There's not, though.
You don't think?
I'm not gonna trust it. You're talking about Pat Freiermuth.
Yeah.
And
on the same team as Eric Ebron. Yeah, I believe I'll pass.
Yeah.
In an offense that has at least 4 fantasy relevant.
So
I am feeling like I'm in a position here though where I have to take a tight end.
I mean, Gerald Everett's the starting tight end in Seattle. Anthony Ferguson's the starting tight end.
So while he's
I'm taking Cole Kmet.
While he's considering for the 411th time, what he just said is the exact opposite of what I do anytime. Mm-hmm. All right, if I've gotten this far and I've ridden the no tight end bandwagon, I'm just not fucking take one. I will make a trade for somebody. Somebody on my team will be more valuable, and I won't take some bag of penises in the 13th round that I have to cut.
Cole Kmet, is he a bag of penises?
Actually, I don't mind Cole Kmet. I liked him more coming out than I do in Chicago.
Right.
I would like him markedly better with Andy Dalton than I would with Justin Fields.
So we'll be able to find out right here if you're going to be able to take anything more than just a kicker or a defense.
Well, I still have a kicker, a defense, and a quarterback to take. So
we only have 2 more.
Which means it's not going to force you, which means Jeremy's not gonna. There will be no kicker, no defense.
I will not take a kicker.
Thanks, Sleeper. That's you're a smart app. I'm glad we used you.
I will not take a kicker, but I will take a quarterback, and I'm taking Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins to me is fine. He's fine. He's got two really great weapons. I believe in his tight end. He's got the running back. He's got the running game to be able to take some pressure off of him. Nobody really trusts him anyway. And there's some reason for that. But, I mean, if you look last year, I think Kirk Cousins was a top 10 quarterback last year.
Yeah, he's there. Yep, he sure is.
And I think I got the better deal on whoever drafted or whoever's going to get Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Because, Kirk
and at this point, I'm going to go and handcuff my my first pick of the draft.
Jeremy's way over there. He didn't hear me say that.
And I'm going to pick Marlon Mack and handcuff
Jonathan Taylor. It's not a bad move.
Just to want to make sure that I have that going on. I mean, we're down in the bottom. I do these kind of things sometimes on the bottom sides of my draft. If I feel like I've got a comfortable enough position players and then I try to look at those last couple picks as someone to handcuff my guys in case of injury.
And see, this is exactly how you're...
And the Giants were the number one defense taken off of the board. I like it.
I don't get it.
That's just dumb.
I don't get it.
Team one, aggressive strategy, Cotton.
Don't get it at all.
Wow. Jeremy went with
no one yet.
Latavius. Oh, I didn't even see the Latavius Murray-Darrell Anderson move.
Oh yeah, I done did that.
Jeremy's got 425 running backs.
I do, and I'm okay with it. You know what? Oh, I can't do it.
Not go take a defense.
Hell no.
He's like, nah, I'm not taking one. Screw it. But what's the purpose in that? Do you think that you can make a move before week one to be able to pick up a defense? Who are you going to drop?
Who am I going to drop? I'm going to try to make a 3-for-1 deal to open up 2 roster spots.
Now, see, that was a move that I considered as well. Jameis Winston, he throws for a lot of yards. And if he could just cut down on the picks, he's going to be fantastic.
I took flyers. My last 2 were Darrell Henderson, which handcuffs Cam Akers. I know I'm going to have the running back for the Rams because that's the only 2 with a pulse on that team.
Right.
And Jameis Winston, that's 2 high upside quarterbacks. I waited until the 12th and the 15th rounds, and I'm going to be honest with you, I feel better than Team 1, who took Trevor Lawrence in the 8th round. I feel better than Team 5, who took Brady and Stafford back-to-back, and I can see a path where neither one of them throws aggressively. I feel better than I feel better with Daniel Jones and Jameis Winston than Carson Wentz and Kirk Cousins, who Tank wound up with.
Yeah.
And I was around later on both. And I like that.
Yeah. All
right, the Bucks, the Jags, and the Eagles came off.
I'm not taking a defense. I mean, at this point, there's no sense in it. And so I'm just going to probably find the best all around.
Yeah, you should be calling Tank and dangling Adam Troutman for, I don't know. Let's go Michael Gallup and Mike Davis.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do.
Either one of them. You give me either one, I'll give you Adam Troutman. And then you'll have a living, breathing tight end.
Here you go. I would probably take Mike Davis for him, but not Michael Gallup. But I don't take Cowboys.
That's a rule.
And that's okay, too.
That's a rule.
Your fandom, look, as long as it doesn't completely kill your team, you can use your fandom to make fantasy football decisions. I feel
there's
like
just
it's
not a
okay.
whole. There's a whole lot of poo and doo doo left here, so I'm just gonna honestly take someone who I think might have some coming off injury last year and catches a lot of balls out of the backfield. Tariq Cohen, especially with Justin Fields at quarterback, I could see him having something that's kind of a flyer, a little bit of a flyer.
And I'm going to end up taking a defense. And lo and behold, we're here at the end of the draft, and there's the Washington football team defense. And I feel fine waiting to the last to take whatever.
You took a defense, which means you did it wrong.
But again, I asked, do you think that you're going to get somebody in that round that because you're going to have to drop 2 guys to play a defense and a kicker?
I can't see who didn't get drafted, so I'm going to make 2-for-1 deals. I'm going to make 3-for-1 deals. Mm-hmm. I'm going to use my draft capital to the most. Alex Sanders said something about not taking the Rams defense. I don't ever take defenses or kickers. Mm-hmm. And had I not taken one of the top 3 tight ends, I wouldn't have taken one of those either.
Right.
I'll be 100% honest with you. Let's see. I would not have taken a tight end after Darren Waller. There's not one on the board I would have taken where they went. I'd have just gone without one. Like, yeah, cool. I'll make a deal somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll take, my Latavius Murray, who had Alvin Kamara, a guy that has no effing running backs. Good Lord. I'll be honest with you. I bet you that if this draft had gone this way, I could call the guy with Team 6 and say, hey, I have your handcuff of Latavius Murray. You give me Robert Tonyan, we got a deal. And I'll bet you he'd do it.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't do it now, he'll do it within 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Because the first time somebody says something about Alvin Kamara or he rolls an ankle or something like that, okay, I got something you need.
Yeah.
And you have something I need.
Yep.
And that is how I play this game.
Okay.
And I'll be honest with you, screenshot the board, remember where you took guys, and then look at what your team looks like 3 months down the road. Mm-hmm. I'll have guys that I took in the 13th round that I'm trading for 8th rounders, 6th rounders. And that's why I take guys late like that. Mm-hmm. Will Fuller. Will Fuller comes back after a suspension. You tell me, where does he fall in terms of wide receivers?
He's top 20.
Top 25, I would say.
Okay, yeah.
Wide receiver 2. He's my 4. He's my 4, and I can slide Mecole Hardman in there until he gets back. Mm-hmm. Then he comes back in one of these teams like Team 6 again. Or nope, this is Team 6. Their 3rd wide receiver is Russell Gage. I think I could find a way to get, I don't know. Hell, let's go Noah Fant. I bet I could get Noah Fant, who he took 2 rounds earlier, for Will Fuller 4 weeks into the season. And that's how I run this constantly. Is every player I have is an asset. Mm-hmm. Which is why I do not give a rat's ass about kickers. I do not give a rat's ass about defenses. If I don't play one, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? It doesn't mean anything to me.
You can pick one up on Monday night if you're behind in your matchup and you haven't. I have done that several times of leaving that spot blank, only playing who I have to, and then on Monday night I'll just go pick up a kicker if I'm behind.
Well, see, most leagues I play in, you have to field a full roster. You can't not play a kicker or not play a defense.
And I'm in some of those leagues as well.
Yeah.
And you just have to roll with it. See, I was able to lobby in those leagues for larger rosters. Mm-hmm. That way I can wait until the 19th round or the 20th round to be able to take a kicker or a defense. Right. Those things are up for negotiation in your league. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're in a league with a whole bunch of guys, you can always lobby for rules to change. Mm-hmm. And I would be pushing for that. Yeah. You have to field a full roster. You have to have a kicker. You have to have a defense.
I don't play in leagues like that. If you mandate that I field a full roster, I'm out.
Yep.
I'm out. That takes away one of the greatest pieces of strategy that I use every year.
You're talking about like week to week. If you have to play a kicker or you have to play a defense.
Mm-hmm. If you tell me how I have to do things, I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't see many leagues that are like that.
There are
Good
a lot.
God. Robert Johnson says he did a mock draft yesterday and some idiot took the Bucs defense in the 3rd round. Yeah, that's stupid. And you're in a bad mock draft.
Those people are stupid.
Right. You're in a bad mock draft that's going to skew everything. Because that's just somebody fucking with the algorithms, in my opinion. Because no person, not even the biggest Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, if he's relatively savvy at fantasy football, is going to do that. Just
the Radio Ranch League a few years ago, the guy that won it the year before took 5 Panthers in the first 8 rounds. So we lost to that guy.
Yeah.
That's
so
the thing we did. Actually, that was before I got in.
He let his wife pick. That's what it was. His wife was in the league, and she picked her team. And she drafted, oh, God, who was it? Who was the backup running back there? Cameron Payne.
Cameron Artis Payne.
She took Cameron Artis Payne in like the second round.
Wow.
And at that point, Jeremy walks in, and we're like, hey, Jeremy, can you help her, please? She needs your help.
I'm sorry. I want to go back to this thing because I haven't seen leagues like this before. So each week, you're going to take a 0 at kicker and defense just to hold on to spots on your roster.
Yeah. I would rather, looking at my team, I'd rather have Darrell Henderson, who right now I would have to cut. Darrell Henderson is the handcuff to Cam Akers.
Yes.
If something ever happened to Cam Akers, I would need Darrell Henderson. Mm-hmm. I would rather have that and take a 0 at kicker. Wait for somebody to get hurt. I'll put somebody on IR, and that's when I'll pick one up. Or I'll try to make a 2-for-1 deal and maximize my asset. I'm not giving up asset for nothing. Every player that I took could have a spot on my roster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is the reason that I get into these late rounds and guys like, I'm just going, Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard has a role. However, I don't think he would ever be the bell cow if something happened to Christian McCaffrey. It'd be a gross split where everybody got 12 carries. So I'm good. Harrison Butker. The difference between Harrison Butker and who the fuck ever kicks for the Jets is like 2 points a game.
Are you saying you put a 0 up every single week?
It's fine. I've played in leagues before where I didn't field a kicker all year. Got to the playoffs and I finally did. Because if I lost a title because I didn't play a kicker, I probably would have put my head under a fucking
I just find that fascinating.
It's just a different way. It's a different schematic advantage. Because everybody else worries about this. So and I'll be honest with you, I scavenge those guys. Mm-hmm. The guys that you cut to pick up Harrison Butker or some random ass kicker, yeah, I'll go pick him up.
But doesn't that give the other team an automatic advantage over you every week?
Yeah, and I have an automatic advantage over them.
Because
I'm fucking better than them.
Because his position players are better.
Why are his position players better? I don't understand that.
Because he didn't waste draft capital on those.
Well, I understand, but you're talking about
talking about
guys that you're keeping on your bench.
Yeah,
they're not scoring points for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd rather keep guys on your bench that aren't scoring points for you than rather have someone
This is my philosophy on fantasy football. Mm-hmm. If I can get to the playoffs, my team's better than yours. Because I'm going to carry guys like Darrell Henderson that have that standalone value late. Latavius Murray, how many years in a row has he had a role? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was the guy I took in the 13th round.
Right.
He's going to live on the bottom of my bench, probably never play. Mm-hmm. But I'll leave him there. He'll occupy a roster spot. He'll be like a damn paperweight for 12 weeks. And then we get playoff time. And Alvin Kamara tweaks a hammy, or they're out and they don't want to run the tread off Kamara anymore or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, even with a bad kicker and a bad defense in, they typically are going to get you 5 or 6 points each, so each team's going with an 11-point advantage over you.
Yep, and I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I have no qualms.
And that's just on the low end, but what happens when a defense scores like 20 points?
I'm not in a league that a defense could score 20 points.
Okay.
I think the most points I've ever seen a defense score in any, aside from one, which is fluky, and it all goes to your league settings. A defense should never score more than 5 or 6 points in a week, ever. And if they do, your defensive settings are off and they're dumb.
Unless they have a few defensive touchdowns.
You'd have to have 2.
Yeah.
Because to me, a defensive touchdown shouldn't even be 6 points. But I'm adamant that kickers, I could care less about kickers. Yeah. I don't care. They average 3 or 4 points a week. Okay, so I start down that much. Okay, I can make that up. That's not a problem.
Right.
And it tends to not be. Sometimes it is. I've gotten beat by less than 10 missing a kicker in a defense before, knowing full well that if I'd have just picked somebody up. But I look at the long-term value of somebody like, would I rather have, all right, let me give you a hypothetical, just looking at the board. Let's say I go into the playoffs, looking at my team, and something happens to Cam Akers in week 15. Mm-hmm. Which matters more to me? Losing some random week 5 matchup or having Darrell Henderson going into the semifinals of the playoffs?
No doubt. Can't argue with that.
Because Darrell Henderson would be the number one way. If Cam Akers decided to wax surfboards, Darrell Henderson would be the number one pickup in every league in America.
Yeah.
I have him. He sits there, he waits. And you know what? He might bring me value. He might be somebody I never play. His value is higher than that kicker. Invariably.
It just doesn't show on the scoreboard.
Correct.
Right. And hopefully you don't lose every week by 3 points.
Jason Trump said make a league with no kicker or DST. I'm in a bunch of them.
Yeah.
A bunch.
I mean, that's fine. That's what I'm saying. But if the kicker and defensive, I would have to see a season play out where I saw you do that.
I've done it for 5 years. Stephen Tao actually can, if he's in the comments, he can comment on this.
Yeah.
Because I've done it in a league he and I are in for years.
Yeah, like where if kicker and defensive and defense are on that roster and you don't play anybody the entire year, I would love to see it because then it would change a lot of my philosophies. But I just see how that it would be strange for me to see you win that way.
Usually what happens is somebody goes on IR. Mm-hmm. Somebody gets hurt and you can use the IR spot and you can cover it. And that's usually how it goes. Doesn't always go that way. So
then you do pick up a kicker.
If I have a free spot, I will take it.
Okay.
It's not like I'm just sitting there with my fingers in my ears going, no, I'm just adamantly not doing this.
Okay.
If I have a free spot, I will use it.
Oh, and then see, now I can see that completely happening because someone's going to get hurt and you got to IR a spot.
Yeah. And see, and usually what happens, and I've done this, I can't remember how long ago this was. It's been within the last couple years. Going into Thursday night football, somebody cut a guy that played on the teams that played on Thursday. So they would usually lock. Well, the league settings in that league is that you're on waivers for 3 days period. Mm-hmm. So Sunday, and I want to say it was Latavius Murray. I think that's exactly what it was. They cut somebody to get a kicker. Mm-hmm. Because they needed a kicker. They thought the Team X was going to beat the hell out of Team Y. They cut Latavius Murray to pick up a kicker.
Yeah.
I played Latavius Murray in the playoffs, I think, every week.
Yeah. Right, I mean, yeah.
So that one random 5 points is not outweighed by what Latavius Murray did.
Right.
And he may not. And it doesn't always work.
Right.
Sometimes you have a guy like Jarek McKinnon who, you have just in case, and the minute he touches the ball, he breaks.
Yeah.
So it's not an infallible strategy, but it's something I've done for quite some time.
Yeah. That's just that to me. What I'm saying is, I kind of like that idea. I haven't seen it ever played that way. So it's interesting to see. I've always just played in leagues where you had to field someone or it was a legal lineup.
I'm going to level with you. No matter what league settings you give me, I'm going to find a way to manipulate them. Uh-huh. And I'm that guy.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that will manipulate what you didn't put in there to give me an advantage over somebody else.
Right. Okay. And I can totally see that.
If I had $1 for every rule that's been put into a league constitution because of me, I could buy lunch for all of us.
Oh yeah. Every year, I'm in a league where every year we have vote time.
Yeah.
And everybody brings up your suggestions for bringing it on, and this is how I was able to, shovel kickers out of the league. Once I met Jeremy Greene and adopted the philosophy of, kickers suck. Why are we doing this? We don't need to do this anymore. So I get the kickers out. Add the flex spots in.
Yeah.
Because for a long time we were running with just static positions and didn't have the flex spot. And to me, I love flexes. If you made them all flex spots, I would be happy. Let me play whatever I want to play. Let me put the team out there that I want to put out there.
Yeah, the Taysom Hill rule last year where he was a tight end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played it everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
And all these leagues were like, oh, you can't do that. Yeah, I believe I can.
Yeah, I can.
I bet you can. And I had him on rosters for weeks. He was a guy that was just a dirty little secret for me last year.
Didn't they change it week 2 or something?
Yeah, guess what? The week that they didn't, I won by 70. Because I had 2 quarterbacks in my lineup. And one of them was a freaking tight end.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of people will say, oh, that's cheating. No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. No, it's not. If it's not in the league constitution, it's not cheating.
Yeah.
And I've had this argument. It's against it's not fair. No, it's not fair because I thought of it and you didn't.
So Jason Trump said that Jeremy is the Bill Belichick of fantasy football rules then.
Ring that damn bell. All the way.
Very true. I'd have felt much better about my team if I'd end up getting Adam Troutman. Once again, I have to thank Jeremy Greene for fucking that up for me.
Yeah.
He wasn't even thinking about it until you did it.
I do that shit in drafts too.
Yeah.
I know where you're headed, and I'll look at somebody and go, hey.
But now that I think about it, now I can do a nice little package deal.
Yeah.
I mean, you could.
Yeah.
See, but that's my strategy with not taking a kicker in a defense. You wind up with Adam Troutman, that's a usable piece that now all right, let's just, looking at your 2 rosters. He needs a tight end. Adam Troutman's way better than probably anybody else he can get. You could probably package I'm just looking at his roster and what you don't have. You could probably package together an Adam Troutman. You don't have Dylan. You don't have any of those guys. You don't have any of the handcuffs. But you could probably go Adam Troutman and Elijah Moore for Robbie Anderson. And that's just an example.
Done.
See, and that's my point.
Done deal.
So that's a guy that you took 2 rounds ahead of any of those guys. That within 5 minutes you're willing to go, done.
Yep.
Okay, well, you've already added value to your team. Because going into the season, your team is now more talented than the draft capital you had.
Right.
And that is what I do on a regular basis. The last 5 rounds of a draft, I'm playing everybody else's roster way more than I'm playing mine.
Right.
Or a guy that you've just let fall, and I go, hey, well, what if blank happens?
Yeah.
You get into playing 3D checkers, so to speak.
Yeah. Like on freaking.
Jonathan Welch says it's the same as the design loss in the bye week. Yep, that's one I play a lot too. Where I'll just go, yep, week 9. Well, whoever plays me week 9, you get a free win.
Right.
But for the rest of the weeks, my team's at full strength.
I didn't even look. I didn't even look.
They're not on the stickers on this one, so.
Yeah.
But we'll put out a graphic of each team. We'll break it down, all those things, and we'll let you guys vote. Just be sure to vote on Twitter at the Sportsocracy or on Facebook in the poll.
Yeah. We'll just put them up there like where we'd have our starters.
Yeah.
And then go from there.
We'll put the lineups against each other and see what everybody thinks.
Right on. And we've got basketball tonight. So we've got a Monkey Knife Fight play of the night.
We do.
We do have the Monkey Knife Fight play of the night. Good. Glad to hear it. Coming up tonight at 9 o'clock, you got the Phoenix Suns and the LA Clippers. They are back in LA for Game 6 of the series now. Paul George, of course, had the great night the other night. And I got to say, I mean, for as much crap as we give Paul George, I mean, has he not shown something to you?
He does. It's just
series?
not as consistent as you'd like it to be. For every game he has like that, he has like the game before where he's 2 of 15. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just not. I got to give it to him. He's playing crazy good. These are times that you look at Paul George and remember him from his Indiana days.
Yep.
But the problem is that you have this game and then you have a 2 of 15 game next. And a superstar can't do that.
Well, I think he's. I mean, superstars can do that.
Not in the playoffs.
Not in the playoffs, though. You're going to get razzed about it.
Yeah.
And I did enjoy watching the post game last night with Kenny and Shaq and Charles, and they were talking about playoff P and everybody coming to his defense of, man, you got to give him his due and all this. And I love that the older players like, man, shut up.
Yeah.
You guys are weak. Every superstar gets criticized if you can't win in the playoffs.
Yeah.
If you don't have a championship, you're going to get criticized. I mean, Charles Barkley was the one going, hello, look at me.
Yeah.
Everyone has criticized his entire career because he didn't win a championship.
Yeah.
You're going to take that, but you got to take it, and you got to move on and stop complaining about it.
Yeah.
That's what everybody hates about Paul George, and that's why he gets so much crap, is because every time somebody's got something negative to say, he tries to play victim.
Yeah.
Oh, woe is me. But coming up tonight, Paul George and the Clippers taking on the Phoenix Suns. The Monkey Knife Fight play of the night. MonkeyKnifeFight.com. Set yourself up an account today, and they will match your initial investment up to $100 and also give you a $5 free play. Tonight's free play you can use on...
I'm playing the more or less 3x multiplier. I'll go over 30.5 points for Paul George, over 28.5 points for Devin Booker. That will turn your $5 buy-in into a $15 prize.
$15 prize. All right, good deal. MonkeyKnifeFight.com. Again, use the promo code TANK, and when you sign up and use the promo code, they match the initial investment up to $100, and they give you the $5 free play. The Sportsocracy is also brought to you by Manscaped. They are the world champions in men's below-the-waist grooming. They have the precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer. Get 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the promo code SPORTSOCRACY, and you get 20% off the 4th-generation lawnmower. The Lawnmower 4.0. This is it's got all the bells and whistles. It's got the advanced skin-safe technology, and it's got guards on it too. I mean, it's just like just like any other good trimmer. It's got the guards on it, so you can go with the long one, and you can get the Jeremy version. Show them your hair. Yeah, see how unkempt that is. So you could keep it long like that, or you could use the shorter one and get the Brian. Or you could use this, and your balls will thank you, because they're silky, silky smooth.
Good grief.
Take just a tick and use our trick on your meat stick.
Nice. Manscaped.com is the website. Your balls will thank you. Get 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the promo code SPORTSOCRACY today. We thank everybody who has already used the promo code and also gotten into the Manscaped Fantasy Football League, which we will be filling out and getting more information on that out very shortly, Jeremy.
We probably throw it out there. Probably aren't going to have kickers and defense on there.
Nope. I was planning on doing it before I left for vacation for July 4th, but as most of you can assume, if you've watched this entire video, I'm a little under the weather, which is why I'm over at the desk.
Yeah.
I sound like shit, and I need some soup.
Yeah, we're social distancing this morning inside the Wicked Weed studio.
I'm going to get the Ginger Boy some soup, man. I
need some soup. I feel like shit.
Third wave.
The third wave.
We appreciate everybody joining us once again here in the Wicked Weed studio. Don't forget to check out our friends at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed Brewing. Drink different. Join us this afternoon on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. And, of course, hear the Sports Tank with Jeremy Greene, 3 to 5 weekday afternoons, live or on demand on the iHeartRadio app. I'm Tank Spencer, and he's Brian Haynes. That guy over there, sick little poor old Jeremy. And there he is.
Hi, friends.
Wake up. Don't pass out on us just yet. We will see you this afternoon on the radio side back here tomorrow morning at 10-ish here in the Wicked Weed studio.